Hi, all here, Play Gray from GrayGamer.com. Just wanted to update everybody. We're going to do a quick live stream here. I am in the middle of doing a drive on Euro Truck Simulator 2. If you've watched my channel, you've seen that I've done recordings before on Euro Truck Simulator 2 just recently. It's one of those things that I've kind of gotten into and enjoy. It's kind of actually a relaxing thing to do. So I'll probably talk about some of the things you might have heard in another stream, just for people who haven't been here before, but if you have, great, welcome. And take a look and like the stream or join in on the chat. I've got the chat window open if anybody wants to join in and take a look. But we're going to just do a quick drive. I'll bring it up here. We're going from, I'm hauling used plastics from Poland to Kaunas, Lithuania. Now, Lithuania is not a country. My goal is I'm going to go to Riga, Latvia after that, because I've never been there in real life and would like to go there. So I'm working my way north. But Lithuania and Latvia are not countries that are in the default game. So I am running a mod called Pro Mods 2.0. I think it's actually 2.01 or 2.1, and all of the associated pieces and parts that go along with that. So I am running that. And I'm running a Volvo, as you can see from the background here, as my truck, done some upgrades on it. I like it because it's a truck that's easy to see out of and relatively easy to drive and got enough power. I'm driving it in easy mode. I'm literally using a keyboard and keyboard driving, and I've got automatic transmission, so I'm not doing anything exotic like you see from some of the other professionals out there, but I'll bring up the world map real quick just to show you the places I've been. Again, this is the Pro Mods 2 map that has additional routes and countries and cities and all kinds of stuff in it, so this may not look exactly like what you have seen, but the areas in yellow are the areas I've been. This is my current route that I'm on right now. I've gone a little ways from my initial starting spot. You can see some of the roads I'm on are not big main thoroughfares. I am going to go north of Warsaw a little bit. Up here and then keep going. So, and eventually get into Kaunas, into Lithuania. And then after that, I'll probably try to find a job that goes from there up into Riga or even further north. So I can kind of check things out up here because I have not been up here yet, as you can see. And I'm interested in those areas. Ultimately, long term, I've got some other areas I'd like to go. I've traveled to Europe a good bit myself. And some of these countries I haven't been to, so this is kind of fun to just drive around and check them out. I do want to go, ultimately I want to get over here to Reykjavik. I've considered flying there multiple times just for the heck of it, from the United States where I'm from, but haven't done that yet, and who knows, maybe it will help spur me along to do that. So I've already got, like I said, I've already got my job running, so I'm just going to jump in. I'm right outside of Lublin, Poland. Not sure if that's how you pronounce it, so apologies in advance to my European friends, but I'm going to be there, and then I'm just skirting the edge of town, and then away I go. So let's just jump into it and keep on going. So here I am. I stopped the game right in the middle of the road, but not something I normally do, but I wanted to kind of show you where I'm at. Again, driving a nice Volvo. It's been customized. Lots of little things done to it. And, I got a red light, so I can just kind of coast up here. But we're going to hang left here and keep on driving. I've got a really light load. It's only 6 tons, so it should be a pretty easy drive. The interior models and everything of this game are really cool. I love the streaming internet radio too, only because you can listen to the music in country that you're driving, which I think is kind of a cool thing. And again, like I mentioned, I am actually keyboard driving, and I have explained that on a previous stream if you go check out my channel, but the bottom line is I do it because I travel a lot, and so I don't try to carry a controller with me. I've got a steering wheel and a controller and other things, but I just don't use them for this game because I want to be used to driving with keyboard and mouse, so that when I'm on an airplane or in a hotel room that I can play it on my laptop and not have to worry about it. Again, I'm not an expert by any stretch. I own 3 trucks. I have a couple guys working for me. I only have 1 garage. But I probably drive it more for the sightseeing than I do for anything. I mean, I like the models for the trucks are really detailed, and you can add things to them. There's cool paint jobs and all of that, but I really kind of do it for the sightseeing, to be honest with you. And you'll see when I get out of town here a little bit, I change the camera view. I enjoy the camera view. I enjoy the camera view outside of the truck, so you can see more things. I really like Pro Mods too because of the hello officer. Because of the level of detail it adds, the billboards, the signage, the textures, the truck advertisements, all of those kinds of things are just are really pretty impressive. It's also very clear, to me anyway, in my opinion, that there's been a lot of love and attention paid attention to Poland. And there's been a Poland update that I know that was kind of merged as part of this sometime in the not too distant past. What do we got here? Now I'm going to be getting into areas I've never driven into before, so that'll be interesting to see if I can do this without wrecking, like I just about did right there. And yeah, so I'm going to be getting into foreign territory here not too long from now, because again, if you look at the map, I have been as far north as here, haven't been any further than that, and I haven't taken this road before. I've taken Warsaw up to here, but not the route I'm on right now. And this area appears all new territory for me, so that's kind of cool. Cool and can be damaging, dangerous sometimes too. So going to be out here in the countryside a little bit. I don't even know what I was talking about. So the controller scheme, again, I like the keyboard mouse and I like the external view because you get to see more scenery. And frankly, I put on the radio and watch the scenery and kind of relax, and like to do that. So my favorite two views are, this is the front bumper view essentially. You get better engine noise, which is kind of cool. A little better sound of the engine, and the different trucks sound differently. And then the top of the cab view, I kind of like because again, you can see up higher and you can see more of the scenery. Plus it's good for taking screenshots. You can take screenshots from here, and I got this on Steam, so you can it's got the integration for the screenshot manager and all that, which makes life a little easier. So I like that a lot. So if you notice the herky-jerkiness of my driving, it's because I am using a keyboard, and that's on purpose. I've gotten pretty good at it, and interestingly enough, I also play Elite Dangerous, and I play it with a keyboard and mouse as well, and that game is not easy to play with a keyboard and mouse either. And again, for the same reasons, because I don't like to travel with I travel about 120 times a year, and or more sometimes, and traveling with any extra luggage is not a fun thing. So, okay, so I'm just going to set my cruise control about 11 miles an hour over. I like to keep it around 10 miles an hour over. I had a friend of mine that was a state trooper, and he said his adage was 9 you're fine, 10 you're mine, for the number of miles per hour, or kilometers per hour in this sense, over the speed limit. So I've done a little bit of driving in England too. That was a little more terrifying to me, getting my brain rewired. Being an American, getting my brain rewired to driving on the right side of the road, or left side of the road as it were. Right side probably is what the English would say. But that's an interesting thing. Not so much just driving on the road, but making the right turns at the intersections and the roundabouts and all those kinds of things. It's not, it's one of those things where at least I do, I always had to stop and take an extra thought about, okay, what am I doing here? I'm still out here in the countryside. This game I find a lot more relaxing than others. You know, when you're in heavy traffic and on the freeway and those kinds of things, maybe not so much, but when you're just out here cruising and checking things out, it's pretty cool. I like the weather that changes. I've heard somewhere, I haven't seen it, that there's a mod even for like snow. Haven't seen that. Maybe it's even in here and I just haven't seen it yet. Again, I've got about 35, 36 hours in game, and in real life, and which by no means is an expert. There's lots of people that have thousands of hours that I've seen, and so I'm still certainly a noob, but it's fun. It's a nice diversion from shooting things or building empires or those kind of things, even though you are kind of building an empire with trucking, you get to do it in 3D. Sometimes, some people I've told even this is like a 3D music player. You're listening to music and enjoying the scenery all at once. So I'm now on the outskirts of Warsaw, just on the outside of town here. I love the fact there's even like construction. You got to be mindful of that. You see the quick changes in speed limit and those kinds of things. And that's kind of cool. I like that a lot. Go back into the cockpit, which is always a good thing when you need to look around. Some of these intersections, some are great if you get lucky with timing. I've been in this intersection before, and sometimes you're waiting a while. This trailer is not crazy long, so I don't have too much trouble navigating it around. Again, love the attention to detail. Again, I don't know if the ProMods team is out of Poland. Maybe they are, which is why maybe that Poland has so much more love and attention that's been paid to it recently. Again, I knew that there was a mod team that was working on Poland specifically, and so maybe that's related to this. A couple other things. Again, I've noted this before, but for folks who've never seen this before, you don't get tickets for driving in the middle of the road. So you can take up both lanes and get in the way of people, and away you go. The other thing I've noticed is cars virtually disrespect your space as a semi-truck driver, which I think that's probably more realistic. But I could drive right down the middle of the freeway and take up 2 lanes, and I've never gotten a ticket for that. I try to be somewhat realistic and stay in a lane, as it were, so that I can kind of sort of suspend disbelief that I'm playing a game. But yeah, like that. Cars, they drive just like they do in real life. But again, when you get into these cities that are really built out, and again, like I said, my understanding is Poland was part of this rebuild for ProMods, that there's a lot more detail in it. In the cities, some of the city areas are really built out, and the billboards and the details, which again is really pretty cool. Gotta watch out for this side traffic though. Officer friendly. Stop the DHL guy. That's a bad day. And they'll do this, they'll just stop right in front of you and jack their brakes to turn, of course, and that whole physics things with mass and energy and stuff, you have a hard time stopping as quick as a regular old car. I have seen some branding that I am pretty certain is probably not licensed. I saw, maybe it is, I would doubt it, but it's interesting, with the third-party modding community, it's interesting to see the things that get done. I saw a PepsiCo truck not too long ago, and in another city, and that was interesting because they nailed it, of course. The logo on the side of the trailer and all of that, but I was like, I wonder if Pepsi knows that they've got branding in this game in a truck in Poland. My guess is no, but my guess is it's not a big enough deal for them to worry about it. So I have 400 kilometers to go, about 6 hours. I'll look at the time that I'm supposed to be delivering it. That's the other component that's interesting for this. I've never had any problems making any deadlines for my deliveries. I've gotten close once, but most of the time there's plenty of time. It really only comes into play if you're on a really long haul. Again, this is just my experience. On a really long haul, and you go to sleep, and then you've got to go, and I've gotten it within a couple of hours. I don't think I've ever gotten less than 30 minutes. I know there's actually like a Steam reward for that. I don't know that I want to do that, to be honest. But it's interesting. IKEA. My daughter would like to go there whenever she can. But yeah, I think, let me check out there's a trip computer, and you can see I'm traveling to Kaunas, and it's expected Tuesday between 4:25 and 8:25 or 8:35, and that's on Tuesday, and it's only 2 o'clock, and so I've got I mean, I'm going to get there probably about 7. So I'm right there in the wheelhouse of time. So I'm not cutting it. Don't have a ton of extra time, but I'm certainly not. And I rested even. I took a rest. I like the sleep mechanic. You got to get fuel. All those things that you got to think about. So that's kind of cool. And it's not super stressful. Let me just get my cruise set so I'm not all over the place here. There we go. And again, I like the different views, but. Yeah, think about it. You got to pay attention to it a little bit. I'm sure once I get higher level and I get harder jobs and pay more money and all of that, that will come more into play. But right now, not a huge deal. Again, like this view because of the. You can see a little bit more action. You see the traffic the other way a little better. I mean, this obviously is more like you get the shadow, and it's more like I think more of like a driver this way. Now this is where I get in trouble sometimes. I'll be out there sightseeing, and then suddenly the lanes are merging, and I'm not in the cockpit view, and I don't have my mirrors turned on. The mirror on the right is not the actual normal stock mirror. It's turned on by default, and a lot of people turn it off. I've seen it from the live streams. You can look over, and the actual mirrors for the truck are there. But that mirror is nice because it's always there no matter what view I'm in. So if you need to just ground your truck to the right white line and use that as your point of reference, you can kind of do that in sheet and not worry about whether or not you're in your lane. For those of us who are in America, these freeways are significantly different. A lot of the overpasses go one lane. So you see an exit to get off the freeway and you're in the right lane and you think, well, I can drive straight through that, and there's still an exit. It's not how it works a lot of places over in Europe. I've gotten myself in really close calls or even little fender benders by having to dive over to the left lane real quick. Oh, coming to a stop. What's going on here? Oh, this guy. Just like this. This is not something we normally deal with here in the country. Now, here comes a guy. He's not stopping. Yeah, he did stop finally. Okay. Right in front of the police. But the merge lanes come to an end really quick, and a lot of the overpasses do not merge real smoothly, for at least from what we're used to as Westerners, that we have a little more runway to kind of get over. It does seem like the blinkers make a difference, which I would expect, but I don't have any proof of that. I just noticed that I've put my blinker on and seen people behind me coming up really fast jack their brakes because they see my blinker on, I think. Other times you just dive over and people hit their brakes and away you go. Try not to do that. I try to not drive like I would not want others to drive, but sometimes you just don't have a choice. It's either I'm going to T-bone the median or I'm going to get over, and I'm going to get over because I'm a big truck. Let the little car run into the back of me. You do take damage, or you do take, there's no modeling damage, but you do take penalties for damaging your truck. You got to get it repaired, or if you damage your cargo, you get penalties for that as well, which again makes sense. And then some cargo's fragile or more high value and those kinds of things. And there's a whole game around that, so that's interesting. Once I get up here to my delivery, I'll stop and I'll talk about the garage and the other trucks and the drivers just a little bit. Again, may not be something you're interested in. You may just want to drive around and look at things, or maybe you're interested in, it's got again like a sim quality to it of building your own little empire of trucks and drivers and things to do. So just food for thought. I'll set my cruise again and pop out on top, take a look around. So you can look around when you're in the cab, which is cool, but the cab gets in the way sometimes. Again, I like the Volvo a lot. The sight lines on this are pretty good. There's not a whole lot of pillar to get in your way, and the windshield's good, and the passenger window's easy to see out of. But which again in traffic is pretty key, busy areas. But when you're out here in the countryside, it's okay. I love the I love the detail. I know there's some options when I get a little higher level that I'll be able to do some upgrades to my cab and all that. All I've done is really drivetrain upgrades and paint and lights and a few other little external things, but not a whole lot of bling, as it were. But got a big clover leaf here, it looks like. Better slow down. this is my exit, I think. Yeah, sometimes I have a hard time with the GPS and the clover leaves. Berlin is one of those areas. I've talked about it a couple of times. Berlin, Munich, some of these areas. And again, the amount of, you know, turns and merges and things that are going on, sometimes it's hard to kind of keep track of that. And I try to be cautious. I try not to wreck. My son, who has American Truck Simulator, I'll probably do a live stream on that next, since it's newer. Even though it's the same company, it looks like a reskin of the same engine. You know, they've got some new things, different trucks, and of course it's in America on the West Coast where I live. So that's interesting, but not as interesting to me as Europe. And the landscape over here is very varied. I'm sure as they add more states and more trucks and those kinds of things, I'm going to like that too. But Euro Truck right now is, I think, head and shoulders above most anything else relative to this type of sim. Roundabouts and long trailers never play well together, but it helps you work on your skills. Try to keep it out of the dirt and keep it in my own line. Again, just a personal little challenge. I haven't driven all the trucks. Again, I've mentioned this before on the previous stream I just did, that I like the Volvos. I haven't found anything I like better than it. I have a Mercedes. I've driven a Scania. I haven't done, to be fair, I haven't done nearly as many miles in them as this one. So I still need to log some more miles in those to see if I get a better feel for them. But I just like the sight lines. I like the mirrors. Some of the trucks, the mirrors are too big and they actually block more than they help, in my opinion. So I like the mirrors being small, but enough that they're actually useful, at least on the left-hand side. That's what I care about. Now this is a little narrow road. I've driven in roads like this in Europe, and people pass in areas, in my opinion, they shouldn't be passing. Now they do that in everywhere, but I've been in places where, at least in Eastern Europe, Central Eastern Europe, where they seem to take a lot more risks in some of these areas. They do not like being stuck behind somebody. The headlights start flashing and people make aggressive passes. They do it in the States too, but I've seen it a lot more aggressively in some countries in Europe than I'm used to. And I've driven all over the United States too. But it certainly makes you pay attention, even when you're out in the middle of nowhere. Little village here. Let's see what we got. Oh, it's a little roundabout, better slow down. These are the areas where I usually take out a sign. Try not to. Oh, missed it. Didn't take it out, so A for effort on that one. All right, so here we go. It took me a few hours to kind of get the hang of keyboard driving without it being this kind of wonky. I mean, it's still not as smooth as a wheel, but gotten pretty relaxed at it now to where you're not overcorrecting constantly, kind of letting the truck train if it trains reasonably straight. So that's cool. And again, once I get up here to my destination, I'll talk about the meta a little more. I think there's people that are much more into that, and then taking the glory shots for the trucks. That's the other thing that's interesting. I can show you that anytime. I'll find an interesting spot somewhere up here, and I'll stop and show you the photo studio, which is like crazy. It's, you know, there's a, yeah, I'll wait till I get a little further up here. Maybe at this turn. And, you know, you can just hit F10 and take a photo, which then Steam saves as an upload, and you can upload it and tag it if you want. But there's also a like photo studio built into the thing where you can do filters and blurs and all kinds of craziness, and of course you see screenshots and SCS. I think it's SCS that owns the. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, a little construction. Oh, one lane only. There you go. That's gonna put a kink in my timeline. I think I'm okay still, but 19, ooh, 17, 20. Yeah, not gonna have a lot of time to spare. Actually, I'm really not going to have... Why, Tuesday? Yeah. I'm not going to have hardly any time to spare. I better... Let's go! I would be not very happy if I didn't make my deadline by driving all the way to Lithuania. That would have been a little disappointing, but it should be okay, I think, if I don't take out anything here in these nice narrow areas. Again, I like the fact that they add these little things. This is reality. You know, you get to add delays and all of that, like that. But up here at this turn, I'll stop and just give you a quick look at the... I'm gonna have to speed a little bit maybe to make sure I get my deadline in time. Like I was just saying, I never get close. I always have plenty of time, and then here I am. It doesn't look like I have a lot of time to spare, actually. Again, this was a longer haul. I've done, you know, 3 or 4 900-kilometer runs, but a lot of my runs are just little tiny milk runs. You know, 300, 400 kilometers, 500 kilometers. So, oh. Yeah, these roundabouts are always, again, we have roundabouts in America, but not, it's an art form in Europe. They have a lot more than we do. Yeah, I am, right now it appears right on my deadline, so I'm gonna have to make some time. I like it. I've never had I might unlock another Steam achievement on this live stream. Not on purpose, but it'd be cool nonetheless. Guess we'll find out. How am I doing on time? Like real life time, let's see. No, we're good, a half hour. I might be able to finish this in another 15 minutes, so we'll stay within our hour timeline that I put on that I put out there. This is another thing I like, and I think this is a function of Pro Mods that the road textures are varied. I like that. The lightings, I've seen the lighting vary too. And again, I think that's a function of Pro Mods. Some of them, I don't think all of it, but you know, the varied textures and those kind of things. I think there's little quality of life things that are kind of cool when you're playing the game. Big sunflower fields. First time I saw a big sunflower field, I mean, you see sunflowers here in America, but not like gigantic sunflower fields. It was in, I was in Bulgaria driving to the Black Sea coast, and you know, giant fields of sunflowers. It's just like, wow, all bloomed and really cool. Again, just not something I'm used to seeing every day. I live in the northwest United States, and we get lots of fields of hops and acreage, but not, you know, in fields of wheat and all those kind of things, but not anything, I personally, in the areas that I've been. And I've been to a lot of the country. So far, so good. Right on the deadline, though. Be able to screw around here. See if I can do this without getting a speeding ticket, right? Roundabouts. Yeah. Right now I'm looking at like 5 minutes to spare. Let's see if I can do this without taking out signs. I've gained a much greater appreciation of truck drivers. Oh. Did I just turn the wrong way? I think I went all the way around. That was impressive. Now I get to go around and around again. And I'm going to probably miss my deadline. Unbelievable. Good job. Good job, dude. Way to go. That was so funny. Told you, us Americans, we're stumped by roundabouts, apparently. That's awesome. Look out, dude. Coming through. Okay, genius. Yeah, I know. Getting the alert. Customer wants his stuff. I got it. Yeah, I may not make it. This would be a first. That's kind of cool, though. I like the fact that they've added music to the... I've never heard that before, so now, just to add to your stress, we're just going to go ahead and... Now I'm tired. The struggle's real. Euro Truck Simulator. Yeah, I might not make it. That's funny. Now, I don't know what happens. Do I get $0? I don't know. We might find out. I don't know if you get 0 or if you just get penalized. So we'll find out, huh? It's like I might be breaking some laws to see if I can get there in time. Unfortunately, the road is not going to be real cooperative, I don't think. There's some not the most friendly roads. It's like 2-lane all the way. Let's see if I can put my new 600 horse engine to work here. And not wreck. I've actually rolled a truck once. I did do that. I do like the fact that they've added this music in the background to add stress. It almost sounds like a little chiptune song or something. It's like, hurry, hurry, hurry. And I'm tired. Not fading out yet. A little bit. It has not turned red, which means I'm not going to get penalized just yet. So, yeah, right now I'm about 15 minutes late. My dual roundabout thing didn't help my situation. That's so funny. Again, first time I ever did that too, so. So far, I haven't. And again, I think the mechanics in this one and American Truck Simulator are different. I think American Truck Simulator, it's tied to police cars, there's radar. And here it's tied to cameras. Oh, I need to slow down. I need to turn here. There we go. Whoa. What's up, dude? Almost didn't make that. And then almost got hit by the other guy. I've only got an hour and 5 minutes, and it says it's going to take me an hour and 25 to get there. I am going to miss it. So, I don't know what happens. Do we... Well, I guess we'll find out. I don't know if I get $0 or just get heavily penalized for being a little late. I'm not hauling perishables. Now this happens in reality a lot. The shipment's late. Hurry, hurry, hurry. I got an hour and 5 minutes, I believe. Hour and 4 minutes. And I have an hour and 22 out. Huh. Well, speed the sun. See if I can get there on this little 2-lane road without crashing or rolling. Make up a little bit of time. It's hard to make up a ton of time. Make up a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I got a border crossing up here, which I have not been across before, so I don't know if it's going to be a slow down, pay a toll. Some of them I've seen that. Some of them you just breeze right through, which we in America take for granted driving in the United States, right? We just kind of breeze through things. And I mentioned previously, I've driven in Europe pre and post EU, and yeah, different experience. So far, so good. Yeah, I am not going to make it. I wonder if you start getting penalized like every 5 minutes. I don't know. Or if you just lose it all. I don't know. Probably should have done my research on that prior to jumping into it. I just think it's funny that I've never been late before, but here I am. The stress is real. As long as nobody pulls in front of me. Semi-barreling through here way too fast for the area that he's in. Kaunas. I want to go to Vilnius too, but really I'm trying to get to Riga. I've done some research on that area. It'd be interesting. That'd be an interesting place to go. Well, it's going to be interesting. I'm not going to make it. I'm about... Again, I've got like 25 minutes. I don't know if I start taking penalties. I'm going 90, which, you know, in the grand scheme of things, oh, starting to get fade out. I've never gotten so tired that I've run off the road or anything. I think, and the mechanic is just fades out, and you start actually paying monetary penalties. Yeah, I got a bad feeling about this. Someone's gonna come jacking in front of me in this busy area. This is usually when you see things happen, right? Somebody pulls out from a side road right in front of you, or has to make a turn and jacks on their brakes, or merges. Come on, man! Almost there. 5 minutes. Whoa, don't glitch on me now. I'm not even gonna park. I'm just gonna get there. I might actually make it. Oh, red light. I'm gonna run this light. I'm gonna break the law! Why didn't I get a... I wonder why I didn't get a ticket. Usually you get a ticket for running red lights. Huh. Come on. Where am I at? It's right here. 31! 4 minutes! Come on! Oh, I made it. Of course, I'm not parking it, so that's kind of cheating, but made it! 3 minutes to spare! Woo! Stress. That was more stress than I needed. I told you this game was relaxing, and that was not relaxing. So there you go. Euro Truck to Kaunas. I'll show you the world map here real quick. Wow. Oh, I think I need a drink. So you can see everywhere I've been. This is the furthest north I've been, other than when I was. I've got another profile again that I've been up in England with. Yeah, this is cool. So again, plan from here is to go up to Riga. I might jump across here. I haven't been on a boat yet either to go up to Stockholm. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, a little more driving to do. So real quick before we wrap up, just wanted to show you a couple of quick things. So truck dealers are interesting. You discover them as you drive around. I don't have a whole lot that I've known, but I've got a few that I've found. But you can tell they're all over, and you get the different brands. I've only discovered Volvo, Renault, and Mercedes. Again, sometimes I drive through these towns and you really need to drive through them to discover the areas, and then you find these recruitment agencies for hiring drivers and the places to find additional trucks and places to sleep and that kind of stuff. But I've been focused more on going places than I have been being a completionist within the cities. So that's a thing. I can't believe I completed that job with 3 minutes to spare. There's a whole company manager aspect to this. So you can have, I've only got one garage in one city, but there are people that have got garages all over the place. My garage is right down here in Bratislava. and you get a breakdown of your revenue versus your costs, and then you got your daily profit and those types of things. So interesting thing. And then you've got drivers. You can manage your drivers and you can fire them. It shows you what truck they're driving and what their skills are. You can relocate them. And so there's all of that. There's the whole thing about you can upgrade your garage to big and get more slots and more trucks and all of that. All these guys are in Bratislava because I'm based out of there. It shows you their profit. I mean, so you've got a whole nother game outside of the driving aspect of this, which is managing and owning garages and drivers and trucks and all of that. I haven't done a ton of that. I hired a couple of guys and a couple of trucks because I wanted the additional revenue. When I took out big loans, I took out a 100,000 euro loan first and then a 400,000 euro loan, and I'm like, I need revenue to help pay these off because I've got daily payments. So that's interesting. There's recruitment agencies where you can see other drivers. Like I just found one in Lithuania. I could hire a driver here, and I don't have any slots right now, but you can see additional drivers and their skills and those kinds of things, which again, there's like a numeric rating, 2.5 for this guy, 1.7, 1.7. These are all 0.8s. I mean, I think those are like the rookie drivers when I first hired a couple of them, but they get more skilled, I think, as you grow. So that's interesting. So again, there's another whole meta to this. Oh, the photo studio. I haven't done anything in photo studio. So if you're anywhere in the game, let me just go back to drive. If you're anywhere in the game, so I'm going to pull out here since I've delivered my cargo, put my truck in glamour position, and then you just hit escape, and you just click on photo studio, photo mode, and voila, here you are. And you can move around with the keyboard and zoom in and out your field of view. Change your blur. Of course, I wouldn't do this picture right in front of the cube for experience or whatever, but if you wanted to get your glamour shot in, change the focus, the blur, and so you can get the sign and the reflections, and I mean, you can change the color balance, you can tilt, pan, tilt, zoom, all of that. And I've taken shots on top of bridges. See, here's a shot I could do with the sunset. I mean, there's just and so there's thousands. You go online, you go on the World of Trucks, I think it's worldoftrucks.com. You can go there and see people's glamour shots. They feature pictures in the background when you log in. So that's another whole thing that people do. So bottom line, interesting game, very mature game, very moddable game, lots of mods. I know there's another big mod out there, I think it's Truck Sim, that adds a bunch of maps too. There's also a Rus map, which adds a big area of Russia. And then I think it's again, I said this in the stream I did yesterday, it's ets2mods.org, I think, has a ton of mods that you can download and modify your truck. Actually, you can even get vehicles that aren't trucks if you just want to cruise around. I mean, so pretty interesting stuff. So there you go. There's Euro Truck Simulator 2. I will probably do American Truck Simulator next. I'm not sure when, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. I'll post something on the website, graygamer.com, or my Twitter. And you can find that information on the website as well. And hope that you come visit me, and we'll do a little bit of that. And then we can start talking about what games we want to do next. I've got a pretty large library, and love strategy games, love simulation games, love all games really. But we can talk about what we want to watch next. So I'm Play Gray, and go to graygamer.com and join our community. Follow me on Twitter, and we will see you next time on the way around.